of Job can be challenging to understand. When some people read it, they find it devastating. Others find it confusing, and yet others find it to be a great comfort. The book of Job describes a long and difficult trial that Job had to endure, and his perseverance remains as an example to Christians today. Job was an extraordinary man, and in Job chapter 1 verse 8, this is how God describes him. God says that he was blameless and upright and one who fears God and shuns evil. Now those are really powerful words for God to say about one of his servants. So there must be something hidden within Job and his story that is valuable for every Christian around the world. The first lesson we can take from Job is that we should worship God even in the hard times. Job didn't stop crying out to God. His life was wretched, yet he still trusted him. And we know that he said those famous words that the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So Job's first response when he loses his children is to fall down and to worship God even through his sorrow. So may God stir our hearts that when we face great loss, that our first response would also be to turn to him and to worship him and to find that spirit of gratitude even in our devastation. The second lesson we can learn from Job is that you can maintain your integrity. In Job 2 verse 9, even Job's wife begins to say to him that he should not hold on to his integrity, but curse God and die. We see that Job does not follow this terrible advice from his wife, but yet he waits on God to redeem his life and to return to him the goodness in the face of all the bad things that were happening to him. The faith that you have in God is yours alone, and the response that you have to difficult trials and tests of faith that come your way is your responsibility. And Job is a prime example of this. If anyone could have used the excuse that he was a victim and used his life circumstance as a reason to be less of a man of integrity, that was Job. But yet he stood firm, and he believed and trusted and had faith in God that he would redeem him in due time. The final lesson that we can learn in the first part of the book of Job is that we cannot always trust our friends to give us godly wisdom. Sometimes, even when we trust God, we just can't see a situation with his eternal perspective. And that goes for those counselors and friends in our lives, that they do not always have the eternal perspective that the Lord has. Sometimes we choose to trust in our own logic rather than in faith. And faith, as we know, defies human logic. That means that within our human perspective, we can sometimes give other people not the best advice and not godly advice, as we do not see it from the heavenly perspective. I hope that you enjoyed these few points that I was able to highlight in the book of Job. Cheryl Hauer, our International Vice President, will be doing a follow-up video on the book of Job as we dig deeper into the insights that we can gain from this book. One of the personal takeaways that I have from the book of Job is that the Lord uses this situation to teach Job how to empathize with those who are suffering. You see that if we haven't actually gone through some form of suffering in our own lives, often it's difficult for us to have sympathy towards someone else. So I always think of the book of Job in this way, that, or even when we're facing personal trials and struggles, the Lord is trying to teach me something. It's something that can be built into my character that I can take with me into the next season of life. And perhaps I will encounter another person who has been through something similar, and in that moment I can empathize with them. I can show them real sympathy, as the Lord himself has taken me through a similar road of suffering or of a trial or of a test of faith. And I can use that test of faith and the testimony that I have to encourage other people.